Welcome. It's Psychic Tuesday. I'm your guide, Bernice Bisson. And we're going to start off at the top with some of the astrology going on. And I did have a listener reach out to me, and thank you for listening. To be perfectly honest with you, I am not a content creator. I am a psychic medium, and I'm kind of an insular person where I can spend days hermiting, painting, and doing that kind of work. And so I uh, I struggle with social media, and I have one Facebook page, and I only have a Facebook page actually because I used to have a tea and crystal shop, and it used to be my shops page. And when I closed my shop, because I just read, I don't really have time to run a shop. I read people. That's what I do all day long, and so this radio show, I was on this show quite a few years ago and then came back to this show. I was doing Facebook Lives for a while, and I've been tempted to do Facebook Lives again and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know, I guess I only hesitate because I did have somebody reach out and they wanted me to go back to an old format that I had where I would mostly talk astrology and I would talk about the upcoming planetary influences and how they would impact everybody. And I would get into sort of world predictions and I would get into personal prediction kind of stuff. And I do take live calls and I do love all that stuff. And so I guess what I'm asking is if you do watch this show and you actually listen and you decide to comment it, because I have to be honest, I'm a terrible promoter of this. I kind of post it once and I don't even add hashtags because I feel like if you're supposed to find me, you're going to find me, and I won't miss that boat. And if we're supposed to meet, or you're supposed to hear my message or this show, you'll find me. And so you can find me at my website, and my Facebook page is there now. I do have, because I'm a painter and I do a lot of channeled paintings, it's not something I could do on this show. I wish I could. In fact, I wish I could do a whole show on my channeled paintings because, very much like automatic writing, I'm discovering that I'm channeling a lot through my paintings. And so it would be a good show, except for I paint my underwear. And I don't know if I could do that on TV, but I guess I'd have to wear pants. But so I am going to talk a bit about astrology, and I do want to hear from people who listen to this show. You can comment on this video. There might be 400 or 500 views. If I get 10 comments, I'd be happy. Just about what you'd like to see, because I have thought about extending this show to an hour and doing a full hour because I could talk about a lot of things, and I feel like I could read a lot of people, and 30 minutes doesn't feel like enough. So I don't know. I guess I need to hear from you because I don't. My time is very precious to me. Being a grandmother is very precious to me. My family's precious to me, and I try to find balance. And I don't want content creation to take over my life. I do want to be of service and of value in terms of free live readings. I've done that on radio for many years on different stations, and this one, I'm a bit hesitant about Facebook Lives because I do need a moderator to moderate all the crazy talk that happens from the trolls and the likes that happen on social media that isn't really controlled all that well. And just because to have a beautiful open dialogue about spirit. And I feel very fortunate to be on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck Television. And they've, over the years, have been very good to me. And I really have met a lot of really wonderful clients from all over the world, whom I'm still in touch with today. And I love them. And I'm really happy that a lot of my clients have been able to connect here as well, and meet new psychics all over the world, and some really gifted people that are also on this network. And so I am very grateful, and I'm grateful for everything that and every opportunity that has come to me. And I do have a couple of announcements. So I am on a show called Ghost Off Grid, and it is on Super Channel. And I'm on a few episodes 4 and 5 in season one. Season two, I could be on an episode. We'll see. Uh, we'll see what happens with that. And so Ghosts Off Grid, you can find that again on Super Channel. And I'm not a great promoter of this stuff, so I'm just telling you. And if you watch this show, great. Uh, you can find me there, and you can. It is a pretty good show. I'm also about to release an Oracle deck. And this is where the PR stuff starts to ramp up because I am hiring somebody who does PR work to promote the Oracle deck because I feel like in my soul, I feel like it's the first of a couple of Oracle slash tarot slash, um, I don't know, whatever my creation, whatever I'm painting is. And it is all my original work, all my original content. It's a 44 card Oracle deck. The last year and a half, I have really been healing some deep wounds in my own soul, in my own journey, and really have released a lot of emotional traumas and baggage and mindsets and belief systems that were really holding me back in terms of my own depth of a human being. And so through this journey, I did a lot of painting to process emotionally. And ultimately, this Oracle deck, because each painting I've messaged the message of healing around that and keywords and meditative ideas around each painting in this little booklet and deck. And so it'll come out and kind of excited because I never really created anything like that before because I'm a humble little psychic in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I just read in my little studio, and I really don't even have a big social media following. I mean, a few people in Winnipeg. It's and here and there, and I appreciate everybody. Um, but ultimately, I feel like it's more around the messaging. And there is a couple of other projects that are going to come out in the near future around this as well. That if you go to my website, you'll see my website updating, and you're going to see some big changes that are coming up for me. So I know every show I go right into astrology and take calls, but I feel like I wanted to say a couple of things because I don't know if you even know me out there. And so, but if you start to see me now, remember, if anyone reaches out to you on social media pretending to be me, I don't really have Instagram or anything, so it's not me. And I'll never reach out to anyone on social media. Pops, sometimes because I'm a hermit, and even my friends are like, "Yeah, you never return my calls." I try, and I'm actually a phone call person. And my all my appointments, I actually have a lady, her name is Lori, who is an angel, and she does all my bookings. And you can talk to her. I have a phone number. People call it and actually book an appointment, like old-fashioned ways. Just because I'm my goal as a psychic medium is to create connection, and to help you find your own connection. And that's just through signs, symbols, messages. I have many different skills as a psychic, medium, artist, grandmother, mother, friend. Um, I work with spirit in all kinds of ways. And so, one thing is for sure, I'm always grateful for where I wind up in all this process. So, okay, B, get to the astrology. So I'm gonna get to the astrology because I've got some big things to talk about. I don't know I'm gonna get to a caller today, so stay tuned though because I got some good juicy stuff to talk about. I'm going to talk about all 12 signs. I am going to talk about something very specific astrologically coming up because we are all feeling this shift. This is why the timeliness of me talking about this and releasing my deck, my own healing journey, because we have, you know, astrologically, we have 7 planets coming into alignment in the night sky where they're visible. And they are in different signs. 5 of those planets are key, slower moving, transformative planets that are changing signs in 2025. One we have felt we don't see in the night sky, but Pluto is one already and has moved into Aquarius. But we do have 4 more. And that's what I wanted to talk about. And this was the question I had from one of the listeners. And so I wanted to get to one of the listeners, and they reached out and they said, "Hey, I watch your show, and I'm wondering if you're going to go back to talking about the big impact." So here's the big impact coming up. We have all felt this shift, particularly in early January. It was kicked off with a switch in the north and south nodes in astrology of karma and destiny, which are lunar nodes between lunar nodal points. Long story short is this. So we felt a bit of a shift in karma, and whether we were seeing it play out on a global stage, politically, spiritually, financially, economic systems, social systems, technology systems, communication systems, some of these slower planets are making a bigger shift. So if I talk a bit about, we've got right now the 7 planets, or all of them except for Pluto, pretty much. We've got Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, all coming into light alignment in the sky. Now, Mercury, though, is sort of hidden into the sun. So it goes into its death into the sun to be rebirthed in new ways of communication. And remember that, that's important. And it's in Pisces. And so while it's in Pisces and this new sense of communication, it's going to move forward and bring us ideas around the illusion of communication. It's going to bring us maybe some visions and technologies around communication we haven't seen before, holographic or I don't know, telepathy. I don't know. It could be some big stuff. We're also seeing Venus moving ahead into Aries. And so we are going to see maybe rapid transformations in inflation, financial changes. We definitely are going to see more around Gaza and Israel and the US and stuff there. We're going to see some advancement in discussions there for sure, with Venus and Aries around the economic and climate in certain areas. We're going to see Mars, it's retrograde in Cancerian, and then it's going to move to Leo and around home, housing market, houses, home, economic systems around home, affordable housing, those types of ideas. We're going to see Saturn in Pisces. Now, Saturn's one of the key planets moving, and it's moving from Pisces to Aries. We also have Jupiter moving from Gemini into Cancerian. Again, Jupiter's the expansion of the housing market, expansion of home, real estate, land discussions, that could be politically, real estate wise, economically. So there's going to be a lot of activity we're going to notice even in the next 6 months. We have big shifts sort of coming there. We're also going to wind up seeing the shift of the planet Uranus, and it is moving from Taurus, which is governing the economy, into Gemini, and it's going to have that sort of little touch base with Jupiter for a short period of time to expand out, and to over the next 7 years, it's going to transform communications. Like, I know, and I'm going to sound like a kook now, but 7 years from now, when you go back and play this show, we'll talk about it again. And we are going to see some incredible advances. And it's not lost on me that the advancement, for instance, of that new microchip that does quantum computing, not lost on me, because that is just the beginning of some major technological shifts. And around the shifts of energy, there was also in the news around being able to transport data, very much like transporter kind of ideas of moving that data that could be changed into any sort of energy molecularly. So it's some big stuff. I don't even know if I did that justice, but bear with me. So this alignment that we're actually seeing February 28th sort of coming to its finest, so then it triggers all of these shifts of these 5 main planets already: Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Jupiter, and Saturn, and moving into new placements, and Aries being sort of highlighted around some of these placements. And Aries is really going to bring ecological action. It's going to really bring action-oriented, revolutionary-oriented. It's going to provide action to words where there's been a lot of just visionary sort of ideologies, particularly that Pisces placement. Illusions, hey, the illusions are coming off. They're releasing all these FBI documents, and but that's not the illusion. The illusion is that we live in a matrix. So at any rate, that's a whole nother discussion, possibly an entire show. But if I really get into the transit, how it's gonna impact us, it's gonna come in ways that we'll see incredible technologies. Now, this is where the wrestling that will come in with us, each of us, to raise the vibration is that we need compassion and empathy and let logic prevail, and that unity and collective is far more important than the I or the hoarding or building of individual wealth. This is going to be a big shift. And I know people are like, what are you talking about, B? Well, you know, we have things like the consciousness um, has been raised, and people are kind of feeling uncomfortable in today's world. And that is the shift in perspective. Now, if you can imagine, for instance, AI technology can be used for good or it could be used for evil, right? And so the collective consciousness, this Pluto shift to Aquarius, that sort of ideology of the age or this era of Aquarian power. And then we've got the shift to Aries energy with Neptune and Saturn structures, illusions, health, water, action. So action coming in areas in health technologies, in um, communications, data transfers, quantum kind of stuff. We're going to see. My little brain can't even process the kind of stuff that's coming. And again, I think the bigger struggle is the ethics, and this is the sort of the question that all this energy will bring into play: is ethically, where do we stand? What side of the fence are you on? Where are you at? And so for each of the signs, for each area, your sign placement in your birth date, whether it's your moon, ascendant, whether it's your Venus placement, whether it's your solar placement, each of them, because we have some bigger cycles ending, cycles that I could bring us back, 20 years, I could bring us back hundreds of years if we had discussions about it. Ultimately, we have a culmination of shorter cycles and bigger cycles coming to a culmination and a redirection. And so if I think about Aries, I think my advice, and I'm just going to get into my advice for Aries, again, sun, moon, and rising. I'm going to go through each of the 12 signs. Embrace innovative ideas, social circles, pursue creative projects that align with your passions. This is going to be a time for you over this 2025, this and beyond, but very intensely the shift for everyone. We're feeling it, we're in it, we're walking into it, and you will look back at 2025 as a major pivotal shift in ideas, beliefs, direction, how you view the world, where it's going for you. And this is really encouraging Aries to embrace your ideas. You don't give your ideas away. You're always giving your ideas away for free. Stop doing that. And know that you have value to your ideas, and that they have value to them, and they're innovative, and that build your social circles, new friends, new people, new faces. Build above your pay grade, so to speak. Build your circle above your pay grade, because you could have some creative projects that really not only align with your passions, but will bring you into a new era in terms of your own independence. Taurus, sun, moon, rising. Focus on personal growth. Financial stability, your interests, your skills, things that really bring interest to you, but remain open to unconventional career opportunities. Don't see shifts in your economy, your career as a downturn. See it as a pivot, as a change in direction, as a new way of looking at things. And that in terms of your financial growth, you're not going to put all your eggs in one basket. You're going to really think about where and how you approach things in the next few months, even around your own economy. And you can find that new ways of doing things in terms of how you earn money benefit you. And that could even be if you're retired, or if you're not working, even on disability, you could find new ways that generate different income for you. And there could be perks of money that way as well. Cancerian, sun, moon, rising, or even any major placements, prioritize emotional well-being, consider transformative practices to promote inner healing. Your mental wellness, your balance in life, little Cancerians, really putting closure to old narratives, old stories, old things that hold you back. So when I think about the bigger cycles closing and the smaller cycles, the smaller, faster moving planets, shifting us immediately into a new reality where the slower moving planets are sort of moving into this for you, Cancer, and you're putting to bed old stories. You're not your sickness, you're not what went wrong, you're not your family history, you're not your genealogy. You are a fabulous human being in your own rights and priorities. And this is going to be a time for you to really get focused on that and put yourself first. And it's not selfish to put your own mental well-being and your emotional well-being because you'll put it in practice, and this will certainly show up for you as a big change for you, Cancerians. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Strengthening partnerships by embracing empathy and open communication, fostering deeper connections, even with people you hate. Just kidding. Not really. Even with, so Leo, you could find yourself really strengthening romantic in-laws, partnerships, understandings of partners, previous relationships with empathy and open communication, and really not with the goal of just having a deeper connection, a deeper understanding of people around you, and what's their intent, what do they have in mind for you, what can they bring to you in your world. And so, Leos, this could be important for you. You could even find that, again, you could even have maybe seen a soft spot, or seen a spot in people that you typically considered as not helpful, or that you were enemy or not frenemy, or that you could see maybe the gentleness even in people who are weakened by their own flaws. And so really deepening relationships around you is going to be a big priority to you. And I feel like your empathy and your ability to be empathic, we all need you right now, Leo. We all need you. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising. Enhancing your daily routines, creative endeavors, and focusing on any holistic health practices. Taking your health seriously, breaking any habits, addictions, bad patterns, bad dating patterns, anything like that that has really just been toxic relationships, toxic behaviors, toxic ways of living, that you're kind of like, that's it, I am taking charge, and I have a new shift, a new perspective on this, a new way of being, a new way of looking at my health and well-being, and taking care of myself, and that could even be in terms of taking care of your own needs, in terms of your health, your financial health, your physical health, where your priorities laid, or it could even be just getting extra rest. Rest is a hard thing for Virgos. They don't know what that means just yet. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is going to be a time of creation. Unused, I heard this statement, and unused creative juices, unused creation turns into rage and anger and fear and anxiety. And any untapped, unused potential creative or imaginative ideas. And this is a time for you, Libras, to finally, you had the South Node of Karma, and it just shifted out of your solar placement. And so indulge in artistic pursuits and romantic experiences that bring joy and personal fulfillment. It's about your pleasure there, Libras. It's about what brings you pleasure, who brings you pleasure, what in the world brings you pleasure, where that pleasure is coming from, how you're embarking on creative pursuits. You could find that you're really enjoying finding joy, trying to find joy, and the pathway to joy is play. And so that's what's coming up for my little Libras. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is going to be a time of home, family, implementing innovative solutions, creating harmony, finding ways to solve all problems around where you live, where you are, where your home is, and what do you consider home. And and so it's going to be about reevaluating what this means to you guys. And so this is going to be a big theme with this shift in planetary placement for Scorpios. Sagittarians, engaging in intellectual discussions, hobbies, trips that expand your perspective and knowledge of the world, cultural practices, new places to go, new places to visit. You could really be getting to know different communities, neighborhoods, languages, and cultures. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is a time of financial matters, investing in projects that offer long-term security, satisfaction. You could be looking at your long-term growth, your retirement, your savings, what you have, taking on a new idea about where you valued these things in the past, your social security, long-term investments, and how you invest in yourself and what is around you there, Capricorns. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. taking the lead in personal initiatives, embracing authenticity, being progressive, making changes in your life you're afraid to make before. You won't be afraid. You're going to feel empowered. You're going to feel supported. You're going to find the right opportunity, technology, or timing that's going to bring you forward in a big way. And finally, Pisces, delve into spiritual practices and creative expressions, resonating with the inner self, finding your identity, finding your purpose, really finding those passions that lead you forward in areas of your work, your identity, your divine masculine, where you feel empowered, and what you embark on your endeavors this next year. These next few months are pretty critical to some of these changes. We're going to get taste of that in the next 7 to 10 days. And I will see everybody in the next 2 weeks, talking more about astrology, but I'll see everyone in about 7 days.